Okay. I just did a video on MRMIPs, which you haven't seen it. I suggest you do if you live in California, if you're going through the same thing I did without insurance. I decided to do a video of introduction just to give you guys a little bit more of a heads up of who I am, and maybe someone else can relate with me. I've related with so many of you guys that are already in this community. It's amazing the transformations you've given through, and you guys helped me make this hard decision that I had to make about the surgery. The journey that I'm on right now, the weight loss surgery, I started 5 years ago, and even the weight loss system I started before that. Since I was 11, I've been struggling with my weight, and I've tried diet pills when I was a teenager. I tried not eating. I've tried eating only grapefruit in the morning. I've tried eating only peanut butter and wheat bread in the afternoons. I've tried every fad diet out there, and I've had slight success, but nothing to write home about, where you can tell of it in my face or in my upper body where I lose most of my weight at first, but overall you can tell where my problem areas were, my not my legs, but like the lower belly. I never had a waist as long as I can remember, and I've always been dissatisfied with my body shape and my self-image, and that's reflected in every part of my life, basically in a lot of relationships. So there was a time in my early 20s when I got really serious about losing the weight, and I tried counting calories with a dietitian, and like I said, I had some success, but there would be a plateau of 3 or 4 months, and I wouldn't lose anything. And when you're already struggling to lose the weight and a significant amount, this is not 20 pounds, this is not 50 pounds you're trying to lose, this is like over 200 pounds you have to get off your body, and you plateau at losing like 13. It's insane. And so I always found myself sabotaging myself without consciously doing it. So I opted for trying. I went and I visited a weight loss doctor, and he had me try several types of drugs. When I don't remember the name of it, but it was pretty much like speed, where it sped up your metabolism and it sped up your energy level. And so I felt really disconnected, and I felt like I had a lot of energy, but I was shaking all the time, which made it hard to hold pencils or your silverware or even type sometimes. And I wasn't sleeping at night because it would have such a effect on me. So he prescribed me Topamax, which Topamax is used with people that have seizures and epilepsy, and it's to help their brain waves. But a side effect of it is that people have experienced weight loss and they get sleepy. So I was taking this at night, and so yeah, I'd be really sleepy, but my body would be so tense that I still wasn't sleeping, and I was miserable. And so I was like, I can't be miserable like this for the rest of my life. And I did that for a year. So I decided, at this point, I'd rather be heavy than just be physically miserable all the time. So I just took myself off the drugs, and he suggested a therapy session. Maybe that would help. So I went to therapy for a year, and while I had mixed feelings about therapy, I do believe that it will work for some, but in my case, it didn't seem to work. I just felt that the focus of the therapy was on other things other than my issues with food. And perhaps those things were, in retrospect, affecting my relationship with food. But I didn't seem to be getting anything, and in fact, I was gaining weight dealing with therapy versus losing it. So I, went off of that, and one evening my mom had a very serious conversation with me, and obviously everything that we've tried for the past 20 years was not working, and we were faced with the decision that now I had high blood pressure and diabetes, which is a serious disease, and it's not something anybody should want to live with the rest of their life if they can avoid it. And so she very tentatively approached the subject about the surgery, and this was something that we both kind of avoided because of the risks that was involved, and just how heavy you are, and the amount of anesthesiology that you'd have to use, and the amount of being able to breathe while you're on it, on the anesthesia. So it was tentatively broached, and so we researched it, and I found a surgeon that I liked, and I went and I did her seminar, and I went in and I had her first consultation, and I really liked her. Her impression was very good. Her success rate was very high, and her death rate was very low. And that was a concern, and her complications were low, because I hear that there could be a lot of complications as stomach twists and parts of your stomach being, or your intestines. And so that was a really big concern, and she seems like a good choice for me. So it was great. I was, really excited about it. And then she laid the biggest devastating blow that anybody can lay, and that was the whopping price of the surgery. $35,000 to $45,000, and that's if everything was okay and there were no complications. And I was like, that might as well be like $2 million for me, or $5 million. It's like, it was not something that I thought that I could have. But so my mom had also said that she would help pay, that she would do whatever she had to do. And so I went back to her with the information, and we started saving. And it seemed just like life happens. There were several deaths in the family, like 3, and my parents took on a lot of the responsibility for that. And our job doesn't pay taxes, so it was like tax year came around and wiped out your checking account, and so it was just like one thing after another, and it seemed like I was never gonna get this. And then my job said that they're changing everything over to California state law versus the UK, because they're based in the UK. And I was ecstatic, because that meant, well, they would pay for taxes, and 2, they had said something about insurance. Well, the insurance they offered wasn't real medical insurance. It was like a supplementary program, and that's not going to do anything for the surgery. So I was obviously upset and devastated and heartbroken, because just for like 3 hours I had this hope that I would get medical insurance and I would be on my way on this last leg of the journey, and well, the first leg of the journey actually, and that that this would happen now. So I was really upset, and my friend who lives with me, my best friend, she saw that my heart was just broken and I was really upset. So she went online and she actually searched major risk medical insurance. The one search that I hadn't looked for, she found. And lo and behold, Governor Gray Davis had implemented this major risk medical insurance program for the state of California before we kicked him out of office. Go figure. So here's this wonderful program that now I applied for, and I was accepted. Yay! I have medical insurance starting July 1st. And so this was a really good goal for me. And so that's where I am. I don't know what else to say, because I'm getting close to the 10 minutes. I hope that I kept you guys somewhat entertained. And anyway, I just want to give a shout out to all these people who did this wonderful, amazing videos, because you guys really pushed me for the change in my life that this is going to ensue. So thanks.